So last week, I think it was last week, 22nd of August, I made a video about the repentant ones, and I was praying on behalf of the repentant ones, interceding for them. And I said, you know who you are, but I kind of just wanted to clarify a little bit about what I meant and where I kind of got it from. A couple of years ago, I learned this after I got baptized, I got really into the word more, and I started understanding it more and started reading the cross references. And also through AOC Network, if you know who they are, Jaron kind of explained this more, reading cross references, using the Blue Letter Bible, and using the interliner in there. Just got me more into the Bible. So I just wanted to share a bit about that. This that you see on the screen, this is the cross references in the Bible. I know, super impressive. All of these lines are cross references in the scripture. There's a lot of them. There's over 63,000 cross references throughout the books of the Bible. And we're going to talk about one of those today, a few of those today. So, get that off of there. When we go to Zechariah 4, let's get this pulled up here. Zechariah 4 in the scripture, this down right here, it says, I said, it's Zechariah talking, I said, I see, and behold, a lampstand all of gold, with a bowl on the top of it, and 7 lamps on it, with 7 lips on each of the lamps that are on the top of it. And there are 2 olive trees by it, one on the right of the bowl, and the other on its left. And I said to the angel who talked with me, what are these, my Lord? Then the angel who talked with me answered and said to me, do you not know what these are? And I said, no, my Lord. Then it talks about Zerubbabel. The angel talks about Zerubbabel. And then again down here, after that, it says, these 7, I think this is where the angel actually answers what he's talking about. You can go back and read it yourself, but this is where he really answers Zechariah's question of what are these symbols that I'm seeing. These 7 are the eyes of the Lord, which range through the whole earth. Then I said to him, then Zechariah said to the angel, what are these 2 olive trees on the right and the left of the lampstand? And the second time I answered and said to him, what are these 2 branches of the olive tree which are beside the 2 golden pipes from which the golden oil is poured out? Angel said to Zechariah, do you not know what these are? I said, no, my Lord. Right? He's got it. No, my Lord, I don't know what these are. Then the angel said, these are the 2 anointed ones who stand by the Lord of the whole earth. So, the 2 anointed ones. So, we go back over here to Revelation 11, which is what we're talking about today, is the 2 witnesses. And a lot of people have speculations about these. There's a lot of speculations that aren't really rooted in scripture. So a lot of people say Moses, Enoch, Elijah, but and there are good reasons people say those, and I do understand, but I think this that I'm showing you is more scripturally sound, based on cross references, based on symbolism, and I think it's more unifying to the scripture. So 2 witnesses, and it says in 3, and I will give my authority to my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 lampstands that stand before the Lord of the earth. Now that sounds a lot like Zechariah that we just read, right? That stand before the Lord of the earth. So if we go to Revelation now, this is Revelation 2. Revelation 1. Okay, I have it highlighted down here. And this is John when he sees Jesus, and Jesus says, write what you see in a book and send it to the 7 churches. Remember, there's 7 golden lampstands that Zechariah sees. 7 churches in Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. So these are the seven, again, 7 golden lampstands. Okay, and then we go over to verse 2, and out of those 7 churches, if you read what the Spirit has to say, it goes through. Jesus has something to say to all 7 churches, but he has something against all but 2. And if you go through, you'll notice this is the first one, the church in Smyrna, right? And yeah, he doesn't have anything against them. He says, "Do not fear what you are about to suffer. Behold, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, that you may be tested, and for 10 days you will have tribulation. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life." So that is that church. And then we go through all the other churches, and Jesus has something to say. There's only one other church that he has nothing against, and that is the church of Philadelphia. The angel of the church of Philadelphia write the words of the Holy One, the true one, who has the key of David, who opens and no one will shut, who shuts and no one will open. Behold, sorry about that, stand outside. Behold, I will make these of the synagogue of Satan, who say that they are Jews and are not, but lie. Behold, I will make them come and bow down before your feet, and they will learn that I have loved you. So 7 lampstands, and out of those 7, only 2, Jesus doesn't say anything against them. So, I mean, that is a pretty good case. And then again over here in Romans, we have Paul. Paul is talking to the Gentiles and the Jewish believers to kind of tell them where they fit in, and he uses olive tree. I'm using the Legacy Standard Bible, so I'm going to read from there. "If you were cut off from what is by nature a wild olive tree, and were grafted contrary to nature into a cultivated olive tree, how much more will these who are the natural branches be grafted into their own olive tree?" So he's not just using olive tree. This is symbolism that's used for the churches throughout Scripture. In Zechariah, we see that. I don't think Revelation was written yet whenever Paul was saying that, but throughout the rest of Scripture, olive tree is known to be churches, well, not churches, but people of God, the 2 anointed ones, right? And so that is why I believe that the Bible is saying that the 2 witnesses are the churches. The 2 repentant churches that Jesus has nothing against. The 2 forgiven, repentant, working for the Lord, right? Standing before the Lord of the earth, and all their deeds are right before the Lord. They're living in the light. Living in the light. Those are the 2 witnesses. And at some point in the end, for 1,260 days, they will be given power by the Lord. Maybe one last push before the end. It says here, we're going to keep going in 5. And it's talking about these 2 witnesses. "And if anyone wishes to harm them, fire comes out of their mouth and devours their enemies. So if anyone wishes to harm them, he must be killed in this way. These have the authority to shut up the sky so that rain will not fall during the days of their prophesying. They also have authority over the waters to turn them into blood and to strike the earth with every plague as often as they wish. And when they have finished their witness, the beast that comes out of the abyss will make war with them and overcome them." So that is in the end. And it looks to me like these 2 witnesses, the churches, the true repentant churches, are given power, maybe boldness, I believe, to proclaim the word. Maybe like we haven't seen in some time since the early church. So it's an exciting time. Everybody, I'm praying for all the saints, all the repentant ones. I'm praying that everybody who's in the body, who is meant to be, will come to the Lord and get excited and pray for the latter rain, which I believe is coming. So that is it.